Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Governor Andy Beshear makes a stop in the mountains during his campaign trial. And a Kentucky couple shares the story of their struggle with addiction and the ways they try to help others who are fighting the same battle.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 4:59 on May 22nd. Now let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Now, Brandon, on the way in, I did see a little bit of fog. Hopefully that'll clear up as people start to head to school.
Well, here's the thing about that. We're in our final days of school for most districts, so that's kind of interesting. But I don't think the fog will be gone by the time they head out the door this morning. It may linger for a little while, and we'll show it to you here on the visibility map. And you can see anything less than 5 miles here, which is not a lot just yet. But again, it's patchy, dense fog all the way through because I drove from western Letcher County into Perry County, and it was back and forth all the way through. So just be careful out there this morning. Hazard and Jacksboro down to 5. Everybody else just a little bit above it for now. Hazard outside the WYMT studios. I'm going to sit here for just a second because this camera does this, and hopefully it'll come back because I want to show you the fog outside of the studios here this morning. All right, we'll just move right along then. It's dense fog, I can tell you that. That camera, we've got to work on that. Anyway, 46 here in Hazard this morning, 48 Grundy, Prestonsburg, Manchester out there, 45 the cool spot. Actually, nope, 44 the cool spot in Clintwood, 45 in Irvin this morning, and you'll see 57 out toward Monticello, one of the warmer spots. But it's a little chilly out there this morning, so grab an extra cup of coffee as you head out the door. Your out-the-door forecast, we could see a stray sprinkle. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but it's mostly confined to the Tennessee-Kentucky border. Don't have a percentage on it because I don't have enough confidence in it to put a percentage on it. I do think we see primarily sun and clouds today. Enjoy that because temperature's going to get up to right around 80 degrees. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Brandon. Governor Andy Beshear paid a visit to Pikeville on his re-election campaign during the weekend. After winning the Democratic nomination on Tuesday, Governor Beshear hit the road on Friday. During his Pikeville visit, Governor Beshear talked about many topics and highlighted the importance of economic development across the region and across the state.
We've had our 2 and we will have our 3 best years ever of economic development. If we can have 4, 5, or 6 in a row, that'll create decades of prosperity for every single Kentuckian. That's why I'm in this, because my kids and all the children of Kentucky deserve a better world, and it's our chance to build it for them.
Governor Beshear added, despite criticism from the Republican Party, he is focused on working with people from all walks of life to continue his work for the people of the Commonwealth. Governor Beshear's bus tour also made a stop in Lexington. West 6 Brewery in Lexington gave him a warm welcome. In his address to the public, Governor Beshear congratulated the state on what he says has been a successful 4 years under his leadership.
We have the largest rainy day fund in our history, which led to the first bond rating upgrade in 13 years, which, folks, means the pensions of every teacher, police officer, firefighter, social worker are safer than they've been in decades.
The governor was backed by Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman and his parents. Officials with the Republican Party of Kentucky offered a response to Governor Beshear's bus tour. RPK spokesperson Sean Southard said, quote, Joe Biden and Andy Beshear both campaigned as moderates, but they've catered to the whims of the far left wing of the Democratic Party. Our students still haven't recovered from his school shutdowns. He's even botched the response to tornadoes in the west and floods in the east. No number of bus stops is going to make up for Andy's failed leadership. We need to make sure we elect Daniel Cameron and the entire Republican ticket this November, end quote. Last week, officials with Addiction Recovery Care reported a spike in overdoses in Madison and Laurel counties. They say it isn't clear which substances were to blame or if fentanyl was an underlying factor. But recovery organizations want to offer a word of warning on how to prevent more loss of life. Julia Sandor shares one couple's message of hope.
It saves lives, period.
It doesn't take long for an overdose to take place. That's why Mike and Marie St. John keep Narcan with them regularly.
If you see somebody and they're overdosing and you have Narcan, you can save a life. If you don't have it, they very well could die. It's as simple as that.
According to Kentucky's 2021 drug overdose report, more than 2,200 Kentuckians died from drug overdoses in 2021. In 2022, fatal overdoses dropped 5%. But for people who work in the recovery industry, they see the ongoing problem firsthand.
The war on drugs is not going anywhere. You know, I'm 43 years old, and I started at the age of 21, been clean almost 7 years, June the 1st. She's been clean a little over 7.5, and it's gotten worse, even though resources are available out here for help. But honestly, I didn't want help until I hit rock bottom.
The two say they've been to the bottom, walked in other people's shoes. At St. John Recovery, Jasmine's house has 16 bedrooms. It's a recovery home for women. Corbin's house is the same for men.
They need somebody to believe in them, because us as drug addicts and alcoholics, we've been pushed to the side so much, and we've been labeled by society so many years. Just, it takes people like us with experience to help people like us.
Over the years, the types of drugs have changed. Not only is fentanyl a leading cause of overdose deaths, but it also can be mixed or laced with other substances. It's something that people with addiction don't think about before taking a drug. But at St. John Recovery, they want to help people get better and succeed.
Recovery's awesome.
Julia Sandor, WKYT.
They both say they're always there to help others and want to remind people that recovery is possible. The Kentucky Blood Center is celebrating its 55th anniversary. In 1968, you could find the Kentucky Blood Center in the basement of the Pancake House on South Limestone. In 2023, you can find KBC in one of its 8 facilities across 6 counties. At the height of the pandemic, the Kentucky Blood Center struggled with donations. Now officials are asking people who stopped donating during that time to get back in the habit.
It's kind of a neat look back for us, and also we hope a kind of a reminder. It comes at a time when the pandemic is ending, and we hope it's a reminder to folks that, hey, the need for blood has never stopped, and it's bigger than ever, really. So we hope this motivates people to come out this week or later this summer.
And you can find the requirements to donate and learn more about the centers on its website, kybloodcenter.org. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up next, world leaders use the final day of the G7 summit to focus on the war in Ukraine after its country's president makes a surprise appearance.
And temperatures will start trending upward today with some sunshine, and we could have a bit of a summer preview sometime this week. I'll have the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.